the ultimate champion. Kumate, 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 kumate. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are, whatever you are. My name is Malachi J. Matthews, and this is Super Tat Film Club, and I am joined, as always, by Hollywood Fletch.
What up?
What up? Oh, how are we doing, Hollywood Fletch?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good, Malachi. Good.
Well, after the last few episodes of films which you clearly didn't like, you got angry. You were angered by the stuff. I think
there's been some morally questionable stuff happening, and I think it's time we clean stuff up.
It's about time we had a true story.
Today's episode: Bloodsport.
Bloodsport, the 1988 classic. It is a fucking classic.
What more can be said about Bloodsport that hasn't already been said?
Tell me something about Bloodsport, Fletch. How do you feel about Bloodsport?
Bloodsport is a stone cold classic. Mm-hmm. It's probably the most famous film we're going to do, I reckon. You reckon?
Maybe, it might be. That's a heady claim.
Well, this is
so early on in the series.
So this is Bloodsport, first American film of Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Mm-hmm. In a starring role.
Correct. First Razzie nomination for Jean-Claude.
Ooh, the Razzies.
Yes.
Please explain, for those who are not in the know.
The Razzies.
I'm sure they probably know what they are after listening to a podcast about
I should
that
think
film.
so. The Razzies, the anti-Oscars. Mm-hmm. Jean-Claude Van Damme was, in fact, nominated for Worst New Actor.
Ooh, that's a harsh deal for...
He didn't even win it.
Who won it?
I don't know.
Oh.
I mean, why would I want to know?
Well, we don't... If it wasn't Jean-Claude.
Yeah. He did win a Razzie later on, though, for Double Team.
With Dennis Rodman?
Which I tried to find on YouTube.
You can't find it. I've already looked for it.
Did you see what's on there?
What?
I found a film. It's like an hour and a half long, and it's got the thumbnail of Jean-Claude and Dennis Rodman on it. And I was like, okay, this must be it. Click on it. It's this horrible, rapey demon horror film.
What? Oh.
Just called Double Team with the thumbnail of the Dennis Rodman, Jean-Claude Van Damme film.
It's got the wrong thumbnail on it.
Yeah, someone snuck in this horrible, disgusting demon rape horror film.
Don't look for that one then, ladies and gentlemen. Well, if that's your thing.
Well, yeah, just a warning to anyone out there who wants to watch Double Team.
You're going to have to buy it.
Yeah.
You have to rent it from Blockbusters, that one.
Also, Bloodsport has an Oscar winner in it. Yes, Forrest Whitaker.
Forrest Whitaker, a proper actor in this film.
Oscar winner Forrest Whitaker.
He's very angry in this film, isn't he? He's somewhat of a loose cannon. Well, he loses his temper very quickly.
Well, he's on a rather frustrating mission of capturing
Jean-Claude
Van Damme.
Frank
Dukes, we should say.
Dukes, yeah. So,
who else is in this film? Bolo Young.
Bolo Young.
Yeah, classic martial arts film star. Mm-hmm. Fought Bruce Lee in Enter the Dragon. Yes.
He's hench.
He also starred in Double Impact with Jean-Claude as well.
Not Double Team, Double Impact.
Double Impact.
The one where he plays himself twice. Twins.
That one you can search.
Yeah, that one's good.
One's okay to search.
That's good. So, yeah, this is the incredible true life story of a man called Frank Dukes. Now, do you know much about the real life maverick that is that this true story is based on?
Well, the film is quite true to Frank Dukes' story.
I think it's very, very accurate.
He's super soldier.
Super soldier, yeah.
He also served in the CIA.
Yeah, well, apparently.
Yes, and he went on to compete in a secret martial arts tournament.
Loads of them, and he won.
Yeah, difference, he competed in like the Bahamas.
He did, instead of Hong Kong. That's the only difference in the film, is it doesn't take place in Hong Kong.
Yes.
It's in the Bahamas.
I think, Hong Kong though, good choice.
Yeah, I mean, I watched a interview with Frank Dukes yesterday that I do thoroughly recommend anybody looks up, even if you're not into martial arts or anything, just if you want to see a man lying. It's brilliant. The claims that this man makes are basically stolen from James Bond books, which is what they actually were, wasn't it? Most of it.
Yeah, so this film was marketed, if you watch the trailer, you'll see it's the amazing true story of super soldier Frank Dukes.
Yeah, who was never a soldier.
He was never...
Never a soldier. He says that the CIA are just, deny all existence of him ever working for him. And his response is, well, they would say that's the CIA, isn't it?
Yeah.
He was responsible. He was the first man to wrestle in biker shorts, apparently. He said he started that. That is the tip of the iceberg of this man's ludicrous claims, but it's true. It's a true story written by a total liar.
He was the fight coordinator for the film as well.
That explains a lot.
So he got a payday out of it.
Yeah, but he later ended up suing Jean-Claude Van Damme in 1998 for a film called The Quest, which he claimed that he wrote.
Okay.
And which was basically exactly the same film. And they wrote him out of it. They basically didn't want to have anything to do with him. Maybe it's because he's a liar and stuff like that, and he's not that trustworthy. But he spins it to the fact that he was more concerned about the fact that Van Damme was in a bad place at his time in his life.
Yeah.
It's ludicrous. The man is a liar.
I don't trust him.
Well, I don't trust him. But this is a true to life document of
His experiences.
His experiences in the 1975 Kumite tournament in Hong Kong, not the Bahamas.
Okay, right.
The film starts with, as all good action films, you get we're in Hong Kong, Fletch.
Yes, Hong Kong.
We're in Hong Kong.
Beautiful Hong Kong.
Beautiful Hong Kong. Have you been to Hong Kong?
Of course.
Yes, you do. You lived in China.
Well, I used to live in Shenzhen, which is on the other side of the river from Hong Kong, so I would often take trips there.
Did you ever get invited to a kumite?
No. Surprisingly not.
Well, they wouldn't invite you, would they? Because it's a secret. No one knows about the kumite, but everyone knows about it. Everybody knows
By
about
the
it.
end of the film, it's open doors.
Yeah,
everyone's there.
So we start off in Hong Kong. We've got instant montage to this film,
yes,
where you see the various people training. You get a little bit of a taste of the various fighters that are coming to this international fighting Mortal Kombat situation. You see such training techniques as punching ice blocks suspended from trees. You see a man leaping into the air and smashing planks with his knees.
Good stuff.
Yeah, you also see a man acting. Monkey Kung Fu is a thing, isn't it?
Yeah, Jackie Chan does it.
I know. Does Jackie Chan literally live like a monkey?
Well, no. This guy takes it to another level.
He is like a cosplay monkey man.
Yes.
He is.
He's
in a tree chopping coconuts.
Yes.
That's his training. And we see the wrestler dude training. Wrestler dude. Now, why would a wrestler be in a?
He's not a wrestler though, is he?
Well, he's not even really a wrestler now.
No,
he's just a big dude.
He doesn't have any kind of martial arts.
Well, he's at the gym and somebody asks him
he's just punching a bag.
He's punching a bag. Why are you going to the Kumite? He says, I love anything full contact. I need a few more scars on my face. He says, you can get killed at the Kumite. And he says, only if you fuck up.
Yeah, so this is Donald Gibbs.
Donald Gibbs. Have you got any trivia on the Gibbs? On the Gib?
Do you remember...
Gibbo?
Do you remember Revenge of the Nerds?
I do. Ah,
Ogre.
yeah. I wondered where I'd seen him from. He's one of those 80s movie alumni that's in a lot of stuff, isn't he?
I think Revenge of the Nerds is his most well-known one. But he's Ogre.
Yeah. We also see Big Fat Sumo Man.
Yeah.
You can get a bit of a taste of everything.
It's like the UFC when it first started.
Very much UFC when it first started.
Yeah.
Do you know that the first ever UFC was set up to honour Frank Dukes?
See, say what you like about Frank Dukes. Bloodsport has given us a lot.
Well, it's because of Bloodsport. It came full circle, and it was all because of Frank Dukes. According to Frank Dukes, it was all his idea. He was supposed to fight in the first one, but there was complications and he didn't.
Did you know Mortal Kombat was based off this film as well.
Well, I can see that.
Jean-Claude Van Damme is the inspiration for Johnny Cage. That's why he does the split punches.
Ah, well.
Which you see him do to the sumo man.
The first time we see Van Damme, Fletch, he's literally starting this film kicking. He's kicking a bag. He's like...
He's training at the army base.
Yeah.
But they don't want him to go.
They don't want him to go to Hong Kong because Uncle Sam has pumped far too much money into this super spy who's just kicking a bag.
Was this part of Frank Dukes' account?
Yeah, he was... Yeah, it's all true, mate.
That they didn't want him to go because they'd spent so much money turning him into this killing machine.
Yeah.
That the Kumite was too dangerous.
It's too dangerous.
They didn't... He's like an asset to them.
Uncle Sam has spent too much time and too much money on creating the perfect soldier with secretly... Shh. If anyone is to ask about this in 30 years' time, none of this ever happened. All right.
Yes. We didn't create this perfect weapon. We went on to fight in the Bahamas and then create Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, so he's like, I'm going to Hong Kong to fight in a Kumite, and the guy's like, well, you're not. You're wanted in the office. He's like, okay, yeah, let me have a shower. So he has a shower, and the guy's like, he's been in here for a while. He's fucking gone, legged it. Jean-Claude Van Damme one. He's gone AWOL, which is also a Van Damme film, for the Kumite. Left, gone. So the only option is they're going to have to send some agents to get him. Forrest Whitaker is the man for the job.
Oscar winner Forrest Whitaker.
Yeah, I bet he was super chuffed with it. I mean, what's not to be chuffed about?
I think he should be most proud of this out of his whole back catalogue.
Yeah.
It's a classic.
It's good work.
Yeah.
It's good work. If I was Forrest Whitaker, when people ask for a show reel, I would send them a VHS of Bloodsport and just say, what you see is what you get, mate. It's like a rainbow of acting. He's okay, he's not okay, then he's okay, then he's not okay, then he's happy.
Yeah.
That's it. Before Van Damme goes AWOL to Kumite, he needs to go and visit his master, because if it wasn't for his master, he wouldn't be in this Kumite situation. But we don't know how he's in this Kumite situation, do we, Fletch?
So this is where we get the flashback.
The flashback. He sees the sword.
The world record for longest flashback in a film.
Yeah, I forgot that it was a flashback at some point, but this...
It's nearly 11 minutes long.
Have you timed it?
It's 10 minutes and 56 seconds.
He sees the ceremonial sword in the living room and he goes all teary-eyed, Fletch, and he starts lamenting for the past. And he remembers a situation where 3 young boys break into that very living room because they see the sword, the exciting sword, the exotic... It's a little piece of the Orient in there. Let's go and touch it. Let's go and have a look at it because they're in LA. This man, this kid he's come over with the wine people.
Yes.
So he has never seen a sword like this. So they're like, let's go in and have a look at the sword. They break in. They're like, whoa, look at the sword. We've got the sword. And then somebody comes back to the house and the kids run out. They drop the sword on the floor. Now Jean-Claude, or Frank, should I say, as a child already knows how disrespectful that is. He goes to pick up the sword. As he goes to pick up the sword, a young child comes in and pops him one across the face. Master is there, and he stands up and he says, I wasn't going to steal it.
I wasn't trying to steal it.
And the voice of the child is just Jean-Claude Van Damme pretending to do the voice of a child for like the whole 10 minutes. It's fucking brilliant. Fucking brilliant. And he's like, oh, I wasn't going to steal it. He's not the German pigs from Shrek. But you get the idea. And he speaks for the entire... He does the dialogue for the child for the whole scene. Yes. Pretending to be a child. And then for some obscene reason...
It's magnificent.
The Master Tanaka decides, in a non-pedo-y way, or maybe it is, I'm just going to take this kid in and just... I'm going to have a meeting with his parents and explain my new idea, which is...
Martial science.
Martial science. What is...
Much like the great Billy Blanks, he is a scientist of kicks.
What is martial science, Fletch? Is this going to replace schooling for the young Frank? And his parents seem quite into it. Yeah, you came over here to plant vineyards and stuff. Yeah, yes, this is right. We are the Van Dams. So,
Well, he's obviously a bit of a tearaway because he's breaking into people's houses, so they need to straighten him out.
Straighten him out.
So he convinces the parents that martial science will
Yeah.
put his kid on the straight and narrow.
Fucking Michael Jackson's him.
You don't trust this man.
No, it's like a Kung Fu Neverland. What's he doing? He's just like pouncing around in his garden with a load of kids in geese.
Why are you saying this? This is Bloodsport. You can't call someone a paedophile. Don't do this.
Okay,
None of
well,
your
let's just-
bullshit today. Not for Bloodsport, no.
No. I'm sorry. I appear to have...
You're not sorry.
He's organising kid fights in the garden. What's weird about that, Fletch? Where's your husband? Oh, he's just watching two 12-year-olds fight each other.
He's training his son. He's training his son.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
Martial science.
No.
You. I'm
Sorry.
not having this.
No, okay. Have I ruined something else for you? Is this like Roddy Piper looking like Edmonds again?
Stop calling everyone a paedophile.
I did. Well, you actually did call Edmonds a paedophile. You said he was a nighttime creeper.
No.
So not only is he training his son, but this little Flemish boy in the garden. But
He's using Frank Dukes to train his son.
he's using Frank Dukes to train his son, as you say, Fletch. But this seems to cause a little bit of a rift. That is until one day at school, his sparring partner gets into a little tussle outside of the school.
Yeah.
Van Damme helps him, and they shake hands, and he says, "Someday I will fight in the Kumite and make my father proud." Then they handshake, and they walk off, bros. Next minute, dead!
Yeah. Yeah.
Cut to...
That's the last time you see
Yeah,
this character.
A flashback within the flashback where you flash forward, and Van Damme is now a full-grown man with a lot of garden issues. Terrified of swing ball sets now. So he's sat looking at the sword that started this whole 4-hour flashback off with a picture of his dead brother, not brother, training brother, spar brother. Tanaka says he's not going to do any more training because the whole point of the training was to pass down knowledge from father to son. His son is dead, his legacy is dead, but Van Damme has been like a son to him. But he says, war is bad. I came here because war was bad. So
Why did his son die?
It's never mentioned. He's just dead. He is just dead.
So he's killed when he's an adult.
Yes, fair few years later.
Wants to fight in the Kumite to impress his dad.
Yeah.
And then he mysteriously dies somehow. It's never explained. And then later on you find out that Bolo Young, his character,
So that was the guy that he killed.
killed a man previously.
Oh my god. Ruwenge. Without even knowing that he was serving hot Ruwenge onto Chongle.
Yes, he was moved by the invisible hands of justice.
Fate is a beautiful thing.
Mm-hmm. So we get a montage within the flashback. This is becoming more and more complicated. This flashback has a flash forward and a training montage.
It's like Inception, because this is still the flashback, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. So you get the training montage within the montage. This is truly the montage of montages. And you get to see some of the very unique techniques that are used. There's a lot of thumb work.
There's thumb work.
A lot of thumb work.
There's fish catching.
Fish catching,
Barehanded fish catching.
Barehanded fish catching.
There's blindfolded tea making ceremonies.
There is, which is very, very important to any ninja, any sort of sports. If you can serve a cup of tea. But the thing is, the master tries to chop, but he's in tune.
Yeah.
He stops the chop.
That's how you know he's ready.
He does a lot of splits in the training. Obviously, it's Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Well,
that is this man's bread and butter.
Creating a legacy.
The next step is Mr. Tanaka stretches him in a rack-like situation with ropes, and he just literally stretches him. And Jean-Claude, with the power of his mind, breaks out of it. Now, did you know? Well, Frank Dux said that was real because there was no such thing as wires to suspend actors in 1988.
Well, they always have that kind of scene, though, don't they?
Yeah.
With Jean-Claude Van Damme showing off his amazing stretching powers.
His muscles from Brussels, if you will.
Yes. After all this grueling garden training.
Torture more like. Tanaka decides that he has earned the sword, and he gives him the sword.
That's really it. That's the
really
observation.
it. And
Very much so.
is the end of the flashback. Which we're back in the room, and Master Tanaka is a very ill, tired old man.
Yeah, he's quite sarcastic as well.
Well, he's a kung fu master.
He says, "Are you asleep?" And he's like, "Do you know anyone who stoops with their eyes open?" Actually, I do.
Yeah, I've done that. It's frightening.
Yeah, so that's totally a thing, so don't be sarcastic.
Yeah, dickhead. So he's like, "I'll go to Hong Kong to honour you, Master." Cut to Hong Kong, and we meet Wrestler Dude on a bus.
Yeah, so this is where we see Don Gibbs.
Roy Jackson.
Royd Jackson is on the bus.
Hassling a lady.
Yeah.
He's like, "Hey, you want to see my dick?"
This isn't endearing at all.
No. But then he's like, don't worry about it.
Even Van Damme sat on the other side of the aisle like, this guy's a prick.
Yeah, look at this. Who's this douche? I hope I don't end up bros with this dickhead.
Yeah. They go to the hotel, don't they?
They go to the hotel where they're having a meet and greet, and there's a reporter lady there, and she's trying to get information from people at the bar, going, have you heard of this kumite? And they're like, kumite, mate? I don't know. Mate, what's it? A kuma what? A kuma matata?
Never heard of it,
Never heard of it. And
they're lying.
She's like, oh, come on, don't you pull my plonker.
Yeah.
I am a reporter here. I am a sexy reporter about Hong Kong, and I know there's a kumite. And she's like, and the guy says, Hong Kong is a very exciting city. It might be.
Yeah. You don't know what's going on in Hong Kong, you know. So what is going on is the showdown between Roy Jackson and Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Yeah.
But it's on an arcade machine.
It's on an arcade machine. I don't even know what game that is. I forgot to look it up.
It's called Karate Champ.
There you go. Well done, Fletch. Trivia Fletch. I knew you wouldn't let me down. But yeah, he challenges him. Jean-Claude Van Damme is really good at the game, which obviously indicates that he's really good at fighting in real life.
I feel like this is 100% true.
100% true. They realise that they are both there for the kumite, which means bro time. Computer games, fighting.
Yeah, their big brother, little brother dynamic is born.
And he says, not bad, kid, at computer games.
Yeah.
I hope that equates to fighting quite well. Now, Forrest Whitaker is out looking for Dukes at the Master's house, and they're like, where's he gone? Did he go to Hong Kong? And she's going, how do I know? And he's going, just fucking tell me, did he go to Hong Kong?
He does lose his...
Yeah.
Yeah, and the senior bloke, he's
like, calm down,
he's
Whitaker.
like, Forrest.
Forrest has had a lot of coffee today, man.
This is a little old lady.
Yeah.
Calm down.
Don't shout in her face.
He was...
Yeah, that's what I mean. He's very aggressive in this. That's what I was saying about the acting rainbow, Forrest Whitaker in this film. 1 minute he's nice, next minute he's in a coffee rage, shouting at Hong Kong lady.
Shouting at an old lady.
Shouting at an old lady. And yeah, he has gone to Hong Kong. Now we meet Mr. Lin. Mr. Lin has been sent to look after the American fighters. Do you want to talk about Mr. Lin?
He's got fantastic hairdo.
Oh, Mr. Lin is very 80s, isn't he, Fletch?
Yeah.
This is out in the 80s, set in the 70s, which also means they wouldn't have had that game in 1975.
Karate Champ.
Karate Champ. I'm starting to find a few cracks in Frank's story here. Now
Do you think that's what he said? So I went into the hotel and started playing Karate Champ.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I think it's very, very accurate. But when it's a true story that's been told by a absolute liar, well, I mean, okay, Mr. Lin.
What if Frank Dukes hears about this?
I would love it if Frank Dukes hears about this. Frank Dukes, if you do hear about this, I would openly... You email wherever you've heard this, the podcast. Our email address is on there. It's supertatfc@gmail.com. You can email me and I'll give you my personal number and we'll do it over Skype. Or fuck it, man, if you're in the UK, we'll interview you about it. I don't give a shit. I'd do that. Frank Dukes, it'd be great. I'd love to, we go through it, bit by bit.
And say, is this
I'd ask
true?
him to tell me about the time that Mr. Lin met him at the hotel and took him on he was going to be a tour guide. He led him around the dark alleys of Hong Kong, no man's land. And how that sort of happened. So the first trip out that Mr. Lin takes them on is through the dark valleys of Hong Kong. He says that it's like, well, how does he explain it? He says it's on the border, isn't it? It's an invisible border between Hong Kong and China. It's a no man's land.
Yeah, I've been to that no man's land.
Have you been down those vast corridors, those catacombs of people living in garages?
It's just a big river. You can't do that.
They were walking down there for fucking ages.
You can't walk over.
There's all sorts of people in there, like eating chicken out of bins, and they go down those corridors for a very long time. But in order to gain access to those corridors, Mr. Lin has to talk to the man, and he says, "Okay, USA."
Yeah.
And then
he's quite a big bloke. He's like, "Okay, USA."
I just thought as well, is this the same route that everybody has to take to go to the Kumite? Because there's fucking loads of people in there.
It's very secretive.
Well, there's got to be at least 1,000 spectators in there.
No, there isn't.
I mean, are they just always in there?
If they all turn up, because it is a narrow corridor as well, so there must be a queue.
Oh, that's what I'm on about. They'll be all the way back to OK USA with all the amount of people in there. Yeah. And all those shady bin-eating chicken men in all the garages, they'd just be... Nobody have any Hong Kong dollar left by the time they get in there, because they've had it all pilfered out the back pockets by chicken-eating garage man. I mean, the infrastructure... this is one of the things that... Frank, how long were you in these catacombs, Frank? I think my opinion of Frank is souring, Fletch. I mean...
I think you've...
For a man who works in the entertainment industry... the queuing alone, like you say, would be a nightmare. They wouldn't allow it. Mind you, it's a different time. Temple, bam, end of the corridors. There it is, like the fucking Temple of Doom. Oh.
Yeah, what an elaborate setup they have for a secret underground tournament.
Yeah. Who's paying for this?
But
if it's secret, it's not going to be fucking McDonald's sponsoring it, is it?
No, but people are chucking around a lot of cash there.
Well, yeah. I mean, they've got a lovely scoreboard. I mean, you don't say that. Again, I work within the sports industry, and I've never worked in a set like that, and I've done TV work. And that's not even on TV.
No. And they've got world records.
But it's not on TV because there's no reporters allowed in. First rule of Kumite is don't talk about Kumite. Van Damme, an American wrestling man, go to sign in at the desk, and they see the man at the counter, and he says, "It says here he represents Tanaka."
You don't
look like someone from Tanaka's family.
He was trained by Tanaka.
Trained here. I'm here
trained by him,
representing him. It's a matter of honour.
What do you mean I don't look at him? That's what I would have been like. I would have been like, what do you mean?
I mean, what you said? Racist.
Why don't you think I look at him? And like, I would have just forced him to say it. Like, what? Why?
Yeah. So that's what he should have said. Yeah, so said you can prove it, and the only way to prove it is...
Dim Mak.
The Dim Mak. Now, what is the Dim Mak? So,
the Dim Mak is a real thing. Well, it's not a real thing.
I've seen Frank Dukes do the Dim Mak myself on a documentary. You telling me that it's not... It is... Right, you tell me. Tell me.
The Dim Mak does exist in Chinese martial arts folklore.
Does it exist in books that you could send away for about ninjutsu that were in comics in the 60s?
Yes.
That's weird. Carry on.
Yeah, it's something that exists in storytelling, in fiction.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not a real thing, though.
But...
It's one of the many...
Hang on. It is a real thing. Like I said, not only have we seen the Muscles from Brussels portray Frank... do the Dim Mak in this film, I have seen it on a documentary.
How did it go?
How does it go? This is how it goes, Fletch. You get a pile of bricks.
Yes.
He says, choose a brick.
Yes.
First of all, he says, get the rest of the man says, top one, easy. Jean-Claude Van Damme raises his chop-like axe hand into the air. Stop! Bottom brick.
Thanks.
So he's like, okay, yeah, I can do it. I can fucking do it. I'm Frank Dux, Superman agent man. So the bottom bricks explode. Thus, Dim Mak, proving that he is Tanaka.
Is that how it goes with the one that you watched Frank Dukes himself do?
Yes.
The bottom brick explode.
Yeah, all of it, yeah. In the same show...
Punched through bulletproof glass.
I did see him do that. And I also saw him palm slam down onto a bottle of Jack Daniels, and it all just dissolved as if it just shut. You know how if you were to break a beer bottle, it generally falls into like quarters. This one smashes it down with the palm of his hand.
Hold on.
Dissolves.
Hold on.
He did it live in France.
Then why are you doubting this man?
This is why I'm getting confused signals, Fletch. This is what I'm on about.
After everything you just said.
I know, but I've seen it, but you're telling me now that it's not real. So
didn't
now
I?
are you saying that Frank has deceived me? And the whole of France?
People do punch through things in martial arts.
Bulletproof glass. Frank did.
Bulletproof glass. Mm-hmm. How do you know it was bulletproof glass?
Because he told me. He told the whole of France.
Did he shoot
and they
at
shot it?
They shot it?
They shot it beforehand. And why would they have two bits of glass that look exactly the same with a bullet hole in it, circled, and says Frank Dux signed it? They wouldn't do two. Fletch, I think you're implying that Frank Dux is... Well, carry on.
Let's say Dim Mak is real and you saw it.
Yeah, our Dim Mak is real and we've seen it with our...
Do you know what? I'm gonna let you carry on with that, because unlike you, I don't ruin films for people. You believe what you want, Malachi.
Okay.
You keep
I'll tell you one thing.
keep your glittery, magic-filled eyes open.
I'll tell you one thing that's true. A brick does not hit back, which is the retort from Chong Li.
Bolo Young,
Chong Li, bad man, big man Bolo. Now, the reporter lady that we saw earlier on is still in the bar trying to get little snippets of information from the wrestlers, the fighters.
Still hanging around that hotel bar.
Hanging around in a hotel. What are you implying?
She's gotten this far.
Well, she's doing all right.
She's found the hotel where
she's
they're all
onto a
staying
lead.
at.
Yeah, she's onto a lead, but none of them are telling her anything. She's talking to a man at the bar called Hussein. It's just like, come up to my room for an interview.
Yeah, she says she's not interested.
And he's like, yes, you are!
And he raises his hand slowly, ready to slap this woman in the middle of this hotel bar.
Yeah.
This man is completely and utterly lawless.
He doesn't give a shit. That's why he's at the Kumite. He's a criminal.
He is. He's got his menacing gold teeth and everything.
Yeah. Hussein goes to slap the lady, and as Hollywood Fletch says, mid-strike, Van Damme stops him.
These lightning-fast fish-catching hands of Frank Dukes
shoot
out and catch.
The fish catching comes into play though, doesn't it, here? Because he's like, right.
Oh, yes.
Hussein is like, she's coming with me upstairs. It's the same as Raoul. She's coming with me upstairs. That's going to be my baddie voice from now on. Okay. She's like, no, I don't want to. And he's like, look, it's not going to... Van Damme says it's not worth it. If we get caught fighting outside the Kumite, out of the Kumite...
Let's make this interesting.
Is this worth fighting over this little flibbity gibbet over here? She's like, oh, thanks, muscles from Brussels. And he's like, wink.
Yeah, oh God, he does that awful wink,
He and
he looks like a frog.
Why don't we gamble for it? Why don't we gamble for the life of the lady?
Yes.
Let's gamble to see if you get to...
who gets to drag her back to their cave.
Caveman. So...
she is disgusted by this as
She
well.
is. Well, you would be. But Van Damme is like, wink, wink, it's all fine. I know what I'm doing, strange lady in the bar.
That I'm about to win.
Because gambling... Now, I noticed where they are is a bar. There are things around... They're in a bar. People gamble in bars.
Yes.
You can gamble on gambling machines. There are cards. You could do anything. You can literally gamble on anything, as Frank Dux proves in this scene. Because what do they gamble on, Fletch?
What Jean-Claude Van Damme proposes is that he can snatch a coin from Hussein's hand, thus winning...
The hand of the reporter lady.
The hand and other parts of the reporter lady.
Mm-hmm. I think they do it on Sky Sports now, this coin grab.
And then we have a yet another flashback.
Where he says, like, fish
catching. Because we needed to know, we needed to remember.
That's why he was like, one day you're going to have to gamble away some poor lady's life. Fish catching is going to be the main thing that will help you with this.
And he Hussein is a bit too cocky.
Mm-hmm.
He thinks he's won this reporter woman. Opens his hand. The wrong coin,
It's
isn't
a
it?
different coin. Not only has he taken the coin, he's swapped it.
Insult to injury.
Insult to injury.
Did the real Frank Dukes ever do that?
He did, actually, Fletch. I saw it on the documentary that I was watching yesterday. He does it to the man that interviews him to prove that he is a ninja master.
Amazing.
Does that prove a man's a ninja master? Or does that prove that a man can take coins quite quickly? Would you say that Paul Daniels is a ninja master?
Define ninja, really.
Well, you can't see him anymore, can you? He's gone.
He's dead.
So they're having a romantic walk after Van Damme has won the heart of reporter lady, and she's still trying to get some info out of him.
He's won her everything,
He's
really.
won her everything, yeah.
Fair and square.
That's it. He owns her now.
Yeah.
And she's still trying to get info about him, out of him, about the Kumite. And she says it's brutal. I've heard it's brutal. It's like a cockfight, except with people. That is her explanation. And he's like, yo, you're not far off.
Is that what he says?
He says, look, I'll talk to you about it if we can go on a date.
Oh, yeah. But surely he doesn't need to ask.
Well, he doesn't, because he owns it now.
He owns it now,
so
according
like,
to the coin bet rules of Hong Kong.
The coin bet system.
the magic coin trick
You are
system.
now my Kumite wife. Kumite! The Kumite opening ceremony. It's the first day of the tournament, Fletch. We get a little bit of background about every 5 years the Kumite takes place. A rundown of the rules. The place is full of market people taking bets. Lynn explains the rules of full contact, which aren't the actual rules of full contact, because apparently you can just push a man out of a square and you win. That is the rules of Soul Blade on the PlayStation. First match starts. Blood all over the place. That's why they call it Bloodsport, kid.
So we meet the fighters now.
Yeah.
We start to meet all of our different guys.
Yeah.
It becomes a kind of thing in the Bloodsport series, doesn't it? Where the films just drop all pretense, become just a series of stuntmen fights.
Yeah, there's a lot of fighting montage in this, and it's various styles, as you say, Fletch.
Yes, yeah, and there's some really good blokes. There's one guy who wears a grey gi in it. Mm-hmm. He's a stuntman from Hong Kong who was apparently told to tone down his kicking because he
was super good at kicking.
He was basically upstaging JCVD with his awesome kicks.
Too good, better than Van Damme at kicking.
Well,
wow.
There should be like an Expendables of kicks with JCVD, Billy Blanks.
Where they've got their arms tied behind their backs.
Yes.
Or they're aliens that have just got stumps from the planet Kick Jelly.
Kick Jelly.
We also the wrestler dude has his first fight, and he's not even a wrestler, is he? He's just like, whoa, just pounding away.
He's freestyle.
But the guy kicks him in the face. His retort is to just knock him the fuck out.
Yeah.
And then he points at Chung Lee and he goes, "I'm gonna kill you, man!"
And he gets the world record.
He gets the world record.
He gets world record fastest fight.
No, that's Van Damme. Van Damme gets...
No, all three of them.
Oh, do they?
We get 3 consecutive world records set. Because Jackson does it.
Then
so Bolo, not wanting to be upstage, comes down and just destroys a man.
Yeah.
World record. Then it's JCVD's turn.
It gets Hussein.
He flattens him straight away.
Quicker than the others.
But he gets up and tries to attack him from behind like a total baddie.
Like a absolute heel.
But then Van Damme flattens him again, knocks his gold teeth out, bloke nicks him.
Yeah, wrestler dude says, "Whoa, that's the best thing I ever saw."
Yeah, world record.
New world record. Chung, chung.
Yes.
Obviously. And then we get another montage. This is my favourite montage of the film, Fletch, I think. We get a bit of Stan Bush.
Is it your favourite montage of all films?
I don't know. I mean, I like a montage, and I think the king of the montage soundtrack is Stan Bush, and we have some prime Stan Bush here.
Yes.
Fight to survive. Kumite, kumite, kumite. Chants over as we get to see the various fighting styles of everybody in the contest again. Monkey Man, people betting, kumite chant.
everything.
Yeah.
Also, the theme song.
Yeah.
That's a lost tat art, isn't it?
You don't get, you don't really get many. I like a theme song that explains the plot of the film. There's an episode that that is coming up with a special guest called Miami Connection.
Yes.
Now that, if you're talking about films where the songs explain the plot of the film, that film is basically a musical.
It is basically a musical. So you don't really see this anymore though, do you?
No.
Through the 80s and 90s, you had a lot of tat films that had their own songs.
Yeah, you'd get a lot of tat rap at the end, like in Police Academy and stuff. Citizens on Patrol, da 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 da, ha 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 ha. And you get a rap song that'll just explain the whole film that you just watched.
Yeah.
Ha 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 ha.
Yeah, Adam's Family Values.
Yeah, exactly. That was MC Hammer did that one.
Mm-hmm. And
That goes like that. The Addams Family. Exactly. What was the Ninja Turtles one?
the Ninja Turtles with Vanilla Ice.
That was in the second. Go Ninja Go. There was one in the first one. T-U-Y-T-L-E power. That is literally the plot of the film. I think it was by Snap. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 1 is actually on this list.
It is?
Yeah, we will be covering it.
Oh, I can't wait.
In the future.
I love the Turtles.
I love the Turtles. We've got some tasty snacks coming up in the future.
Oh, yes.
That being one of them.
All came to a head, didn't it, really, with Will Smith? The song, the
Oh,
tat
yeah.
song.
Oh, God, yeah. Will Smith was the king of the tat song.
Yeah.
A wiki wow wow. A wow wow west. A wiki wow. You don't get any wiki wow wow west anymore. You don't get any.
And Will
Who's
Smith.
the man in? Who's the man in?
Yeah. What is Will Smith playing at?
Well, Scientology now, isn't it?
Is he?
He's a Scientologist. Yeah,
Get out.
He is. Yeah, he funded a school for brainwashing children.
Oh, is this why he doesn't?
This is why he doesn't do.
Is this why he doesn't do?
This is why he no longer goes. Ha 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 ha.
So we get no. Is this?
I don't like it. I just bite it. Welcome to Miami. Yeah. I'm thinking about Will Smith now, and he's.
This is Bloodsport.
Yeah, sorry, Bloodsport. Right. The agents find Frank and Wrestling Man at the hotel, and they're like, "We're taking you back to the USA. Uncle Sam can't afford for you to get hurt in the Kumite. They've spent too much time, too much money to make you into the Super Frank that you are today." And he's like, "I need a distraction." Wrestling Man, bosh, he runs off and he says, "I'll see you at the airport."
Yeah.
In 2 days. And they're like, Forrest Whitaker's got, "I'm gonna fucking electrocute that cunt with 50,000 volts."
Yeah, he threatens Jackson with it.
Yeah, threatens Jackson.
Big
He's
time.
like, stay down, hairy man.
And then, and then we get the Jackie Chan-esque chase scene.
Chase scene across boats. Across
Yes.
the whole of, he looks like he's just running around in a circle. They are just running around in a
and
circle.
he's jumping over things.
He's quite
climbing
happy
around.
considering he's getting chased by federal agents.
Well, like I say, it's a very Jackie Chan sort of scene.
Smiley.
Isn't it? You know,
Very smiley.
very smiley, happy, clowning around.
Yeah, runs across some boats. The stupid agents, they fall in.
Dum-dums.
He gets in a taxi and he's off.
Yes. He's running around in his yellow blazer. Mm-hmm. Also, in every Jean-Claude Van Damme film, Jean-Claude Van Damme is always the most impeccably dressed person. He always has the best threads in any film that he's in.
Yeah. Well, speaking of like double impact, you get both sides of the Van Damme coin. You've got sports casual Van Damme, the good one.
The slacks.
Yeah, the slacks. And then you've got, slick back, sexy Van Damme, leather jacket.
Yeah.
Scar on the face.
The Van Damme of Bloodsports is the slacks tank top combination Van Damme.
The sport, I think it's a sports casual.
Sports cash.
Yeah, you know, man about town. He looks like he's just got off a P&O ferry in Malta.
Looks good.
Right, this fucking reporter still won't shut up about wanting to get into the Kumite. And he's like, "Look, you can't get into the fucking Kumite. No press." Jean-Claude Van Damme in his tiny pants the morning after lovemaking.
Oh, and you see his bum bum.
You see his bum and he's like, "Look, I've got to go. I'm really sorry, but you can't come into the Kumite. There's no way I'm going to see you in that temple later."
Thanks.
See you later. Thanks for the diddles. Gets to the temple and Mr. Lin is furious because Van Damme's been out knocking up the reporter lady. And then who's in next? Fucking reporter lady. She's in there like straight away.
And she's properly glammed up.
Oh, she looks gorgeous.
Yeah, she's done all this in the time it took for Van Damme to get from the hotel to there. She's got dressed, got glammed up, found some business dude.
Yeah, to come in with.
And manipulated him into bringing her in.
Who keeps asking him every time he comes in, how you feel today, Frankie?
Yeah, he's very concerned about
Frankie's health.
About Frankie's health.
But it's fine, she's finally in, she gets to see it.
Yeah.
The Kumite begins!
She deserves way more credit.
Well, she is quite the intrepid reporter.
It turns out she is actually a brilliant reporter.
Very good, top
brilliant
marks.
Investigative journalism going on there.
Very good. The Kumite begins again. We get Dukes versus Gomez. We get Monkey Man versus Sumo Man. And then Dux versus Sumo, who he beats with a dick punch.
Johnny Cage dick punch.
Johnny Cage dick punch. Now, instead of chanting Chong Li, the crowd have shifted. They're chanting
Frank
Dukes,
Dukes,
Frank Dukes, Frank Dukes, Frank Dukes. Now, wrestling dude earlier on, after his first match, in his roid rage, pointed at Chong Li.
Yeah.
And he was like, I fucking want you, guy! I'm gonna take you on in the octagon! But it's not an octagon, it's a flat boxing ring without any ropes in it. So when he's getting all wound up going, this is it, it's my time to fight big baddie, bad man, big fucking bollo here. I'm gonna fucking smash him. And Van Damme's like, you need to calm down, mate. You got to go for his gut because
he's weak there.
He's weak there. I've been watching him.
Yes.
And also avoid his legs, which is good advice in any fight. Avoid his legs. Don't let him kick you.
Yeah. Bolo Young's not weak in his gut.
Well,
Bolo Young has no weaknesses. Have you seen the man?
He is fucking jacked. He's like a cow shoved into a pair of fucking MC Hammer pants.
Only Bruce Lee could defeat him.
Bruce Lee. But Wrestling Man could not defeat him because he's too busy showboating, too interested in his wrestling ideas. You know, you can't go into this.
He is in the wrong sport,
He's in the wrong sport.
Because he's not a wrestler.
He's not even a wrestler.
But he so clearly is.
Yeah, I think he's supposed to be a wrestler.
I feel like he's not heard of wrestling.
So yeah, wrestler dude gets absolutely battered and Dux is like, no!
He stamps on his head.
He stamps on his head and he
breaks his skull.
Breaks his wrestling skull and takes his Harley scarf.
He does. He takes his Harley Davidson headband.
As a totemistic item from his victim.
Oh.
Like a barbarian would wear a scalp or a tooth from someone.
Bolo's so evil.
Oh, it's fucking... You know what this means, though?
And he does the angry face, doesn't he? Bolo's stamping face.
And he holds up the... You know, there's only one cause of action in this type of situation, though, isn't there, Fletch? Rwenge! Wrestler Ray is now in hospital. But he's okay, he's going to get out in a week, but Van Damme...
He's actually fine.
He's actually fine, even though he's had his head stamped in.
Yeah.
Van Damme promises that he's going to get up. Rwenge for USA.
Yeah.
Okay, USA.
Reporter lady has gone full Adrian and is like,
you
can't win.
Yeah, she doesn't understand it, does she? She's like, she doesn't understand dude bro on it. She's like, look,
yes.
What? She's like, you're not getting any money from this Jean-Claude Van Damme. Your friends are ending up dead. And he's like, that's why I'm doing it.
Yes. You don't understand the dude bro code.
You don't understand the dude bro code at all. So much so that she thinks the only way that she can stop it is going to the police.
She went to the police!
Fucking idiot. You don't tell the police about Kumite.
Why did you become a reporter?
Oh, God.
Why did you become a reporter?
She goes to tell the police, and the police are like, there is a Kumite. How do you know? And she says, my friend's involved in it. He's going to get hurt. His friend's already been hurt. There's people getting their neck snapped willy-nilly.
Yeah, everywhere.
He says, what's your friend's name?
Frank Dukes.
Frank Dukes.
Not the Frank Dukes.
He's like, on the phone, Forrest Whitaker, Angry Forrest, yeah? You never guess. Yeah, tell him, yeah, I'm telling him now. Yeah, he's at the fucking Kumite. Phone down. Ducks on a bus.
Ducks.
Sorry. Then we get another montage. I didn't think it was possible. This is where we get the whole film montage.
We get the brooding montage.
The brooding power ballad. montage where he's on the bus thinking, have I done the right thing? This is where, as we've noticed, a pattern in these films, you do get a montage towards the end of the film, near the final fight, so you can remember everything.
Yeah, it's like when Rocky's preparing to fight Ivan Drago and he's driving around thinking about Apollo.
It's exactly the same.
But this has, it has one thing better.
Rooftop splits.
It has Van Damme looking in the bus window and seeing the reflection of Bolo and turning. Bolo's not there. He's just obsessed.
Obsessed.
With Rwenge.
Rwenge on the mind.
He has the Rwenge brainworm.
Oh, the brainworm is poisoning him, Fletch, from the inside. But as the song says, I can be strong. And he can be strong because he's Frank Dukes.
Frank Dukes, Rwenge, do bro code.
That is a code to live by.
Yeah.
If anything. Frank goes to the temple for the final. It's the final day. As he approaches the gates, he sees the agents. He sees Forrest Whitaker and the other guy.
With the policeman.
The policeman comes in from the side.
So they've stationed policemen in various doors up this corridor.
Well, that's what happens as he's coming towards the agents. They're coming out of him, like the chicken men would have been earlier, but now they're policemen.
Did the policeman come up with his men and go, right, you hide in that door, you hide in that door, you hide in that door, up the corridor, and everyone just one by one jump out on Frank Dukes?
I believe they do. I mean, that would be something we can clear up when Mr. Dukes gets in touch with us. Agents and the police. He fights off the police on the way down the corridor of Police Doom.
Yes, and then deflects the agent tasers with a trash can lid into the two policemen.
Yeah, and then at that point they go, "Okay, you win."
Yeah,
and they just say, "Look, what is the problem, Jean-Claude?" No remorse for the policemen. The policemen never mention again. They just disappear, and they're like, "Look,
they've been dragged off by chicken men.
Dragged off and feasted upon like dirty foxes." He's like, "Look, I'll meet you at the airport tomorrow. I've got to do this. It's dude on a fucking hospital wrestler."
Yeah, and they
Harley Davidson scarf on the line here.
Yeah, and they go, well, why didn't you say it was Dude Honor?
Dude Honor.
Oh, fuck.
Get on in there.
Dude Honor is part of the Constitution.
Kumate.
And then they're in.
And they're in. So the agents and the reporter are at the final. We are at the final.
Everyone's there.
Dukes was late, but now it's ready. And everybody is there. Yeah, the agents and the reporter are at the final. First match, Paco versus Dukes. The agents are very impressed with the way that Dukes dispatches of Paco in the fight. The Dukes chant goes up again. Now we get Chong Li versus...
Yes, that poor lad.
That poor lad. Because...
He beats him. Soundly. Mm-hmm. And then the fight's over. It's over. The referee's like, this is over.
Yeah. You've gone too far.
Chong Li kills him. Dead.
The disrespect.
The ref is disgusted. He's just looking at Chong Li like utter disdain on his face.
You fucking what?
The elders of the tournament. I don't know who these guys are.
Yeah, they turn their back to him.
Turn their backs on Chong Li. He is
incensed. And he turns and
he doesn't care. He's just like, fuck you.
Yeah, and he goes, "You're next."
Yeah. He doesn't care. He's lost all honour.
I don't think he was ever an honourable man because we find out that he did actually kill... He's been killing people all day.
Well, this is the second Kumite in a row that he's killed someone. Yeah. So he's clearly just a bad dude and he doesn't understand Dude Bro Honor Code.
Clearly not. Because he wouldn't have he wouldn't do what he does in this final fight if he understood fucking Dude Honor Code, because now we are there, Fletch. Now we are at the final fight. This is the main event of the film. This is what you've been waiting for all afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It is Frank Dukes versus Chong Li. Could Frank be the first Westerner?
This is what's on the line, yes.
The first Western man to ever hold aloft that Kumite sword at the end.
So it starts off.
A lot of sassing.
A lot of mind games.
Getting in.
Chong Li disrobes to his shorts and he's got Harley Davidson headband wrapped around his leg.
Totemistic item wrapped around the leg.
Around his devastating leg.
Now, when Lee is getting ready, his little manager fella pops him in his shorts.
A little tablet, a little pill.
Just little
So what are the rules here?
Well,
Because he quite blatantly uses that later.
yeah, it does later, but no, not yet. So the fight starts like as Hollywood Fletch says. There's a lot of assassins, the agents, the reporter. They're all fucking totally into it by now.
Yeah.
They're like of hook, line, and sinker. They're like Kumite, handful of dollars.
They're betting money on
Frank, but Frank is losing.
So it starts quite back and forth though, doesn't it?
Starts quite back and forth. Well, no, he batters Jean-Claude at the start.
Does he?
Yeah, but then he gets his fucking.
He starts
his shine.
The crowd participation.
Well, that is a wrestling thing. He feeds off the crowd, and he's like, I can do this. I'm going to be the first Kumite Westerner winner.
Yes.
I'm going to hold that sword. I'm going to touch that blade.
The kicks begin.
The flurry of kicks.
Bolo's having none of it. What does he do? You were talking about wrestling tactics earlier.
Yeah.
He goes full Mr. Fuji and throws salt in his eyes.
Ah!
This has turned into an 80s wrestling match.
Causing Van Damme blindness.
Remember your training, Van Damme.
Remember your training when you served tea. Blind earlier on. But he's like, oh, I can't remember the training because he's on the floor. He's fucking Scooby-Dooing it, isn't he? He's like, oh, my glasses. But he's going, mine eyes.
He does a powerful roar of anguish.
Ah! Well, he might as well just shout blind at the top of his voice.
Yeah, he does a powerful, anguished roar of angst and blindness.
He remembers his training.
Remember your tea-making...
Remember the tea-making training.
Yes. Is this how you get good at martial arts? You do stuff that isn't martial arts?
Karate Kid.
Of course.
Blind tea.
Blind tea-making.
Grabbing fish out of a pond.
I've been doing stuff that isn't martial arts all my life.
Yeah.
Arguably, everything I do...
Isn't a martial art.
Why aren't I dead good at martial arts?
I don't know, Fletch. Maybe you should get one of Frank's books.
Oh,
Speaking of his books, he's written loads of books. He's
Really?
actually written a book that's called Ninjas of Bullshit.
What?
And that's a real book that Frank... Because he was fed up with people saying he was lying. So he wrote a book saying, I'm not lying, called Ninjas of Bullshit. But the agents are so fucking into it all now. They're like, oh, look at it, he's blinded him. Jean-Claude Van Damme is still blind. He does very good blind acting.
Yeah, he's just walking around, feeling around the ring.
He fucking wrestles the bad man down blindly, and he's going, say it!
He's knelt on the ground, and Bolo goes to chop him in the face, much like
The tea situation.
the tea situation. Stops him.
Yeah, stops him dead.
The training is there. He's reached a zen-like level.
When he's like, oh, the tea, the fish grabbing, the tie me up in a rope, it all led to this.
He's become enlightened.
Yeah. So he holds him down, he makes him submit, he makes him say, Mate. And there we have it, Jean-Claude Van Damme, Frank Dukes, the first Westerner to ever win the Kumite.
Gets a sword.
He takes the sword, and then he goes to visit Ray or Roy of Royd's, the wrestler man in hospital. He tells him Jackson, and he tells him what's happened, and he says, hey, next time you have something about stop leaving your clothes all over the place. And he gives him the Harley scarf back, and he looks at him, and it looks like he's going to cry. This is emotional dude on her now, and he says, anytime, any place, I've got your back, brother.
Donald Gibbs acts the shit out of that scene.
And Van Damme goes, I love you. And then Donald goes, thanks. Oh, it's one of those, is it? Oh,
Dude,
thanks.
code, honour, bro.
Dude, code, honour. And then he decides he is going to go back to America because he's an honourable man. And they're like, hey, you've been such a pain in the ass, Frank. He's already on the plane. He's
ninjaed onto the plane before then.
And that's where it pops up that this was all a true story.
This was entirely true. Everything that you've seen, everything that has happened is true, apart from it was in the Bahamas.
Apart from it was it. They should have put that at the bottom.
Yeah.
I thought as well, which I thought was funny, but it was my own eyes because I was watching it from a distance.
Yeah.
When it said the 4 facts, the 4 records, I thought it actually had 5, which I would have been hilarious. But yeah, we saw the records there. Can you remember any of the records at the top? I know that you can look it up. I mean, Frank, Frank, if you're out there, Frank, if you're listening, I mean, he's probably meditating and he can hear us recording it live.
With his ninja ears.
With his ninja ears, yeah. So, do I need to ask whether you enjoyed Bloodsport, Fletch?
I love Bloodsport.
I enjoyed this one.
Bloodsport is a classic B-movie. And say what you like about Frank Dukes. He may have lied. His accounts may not have been entirely true. Mm-hmm. But his lies gave us Bloodsport.
Yep.
Jean-Claude Van Damme. Mm-hmm. Mortal Kombat. UFC.
He didn't really study UFC. He just thinks he did.
Bloodsport, though.
Oh, right, okay.
Bloodsport started this. Frank Dukes started Bloodsport.
Frank Dukes is fighting.
We can thank... I mean, he's given us... That's a cross-platform gift that he's given us. That's films, games,
everything.
Sports.
Multimedia.
He is like...
The gift that keeps on giving.
He's like William Burroughs. He changed pop culture forever. What can you say about Bloodsport?
Well,
really?
we enjoyed that film. 5 star?
5 stars, of course.
We'll see you next time.
Laters.
I'm gonna stake my claim. I'll fight to survive.